Thanks for joining us on the John Mendola Show. We are driven by McCarthy Tire and Automotive Centers. Let's talk with Katie Dammer from Abington Heights. She is a cross-country runner. And, Katie, welcome into the show. And here we are. It's already practice time for your team.
Yeah, it's very exciting.
Let's talk about the work ethic that you had in the off-season leading up to getting ready for a full season of cross-country.
Well, my coach always says that cross-country runners are built in the summer, and though it's kind of scary, it is definitely true, because if you don't have the attitude to put in the work when no one else is there making you do it, then that's what determines whether you're going to be a really strong runner or not. And so I've been putting in mileage by myself because we haven't had official practices, but it's been nice meeting up with some friends every once in a while to get together for runs, which is exciting. And I went on a bunch of trips this summer, so it was nice to get to run in some different places, but I'm really excited to now get down to business, start getting ready to race.
And as you prepare for cross-country season, you'll be running the hills of northeastern Pennsylvania pretty much like everybody else, but you mentioned that part of running in some different areas and doing some different things. In the summer, do you try to, vary it up a little bit where you're running flat and then you're running hills and switch it up? Not that we want to give away too many secrets, but tell some general things that you try to do.
Well, anywhere you run around my neighborhood or around my school, you're going to hit a lot of hills, so those are pretty much impossible to avoid. And I definitely think that running on the hills in your runs makes you much stronger. And then I actually was running in Canada with my family on our vacation. We were in the Canadian Rockies, so I did some good runs there. And I was in West Virginia on a Habitat for Humanity service trip for a week. And there I got to go on a lot of good runs with Erin Feeney, who just graduated from Scranton Prep. She'll be running at Penn in the fall. And I've always really looked up to her. I've learned a lot from her, so it was nice to get to run with her for about a week when we were down there.
Let's talk a little bit about how about the difference between track and field and cross country as well. Is there one sport you like a little more, or do you kind of like both in their respective seasons?
I definitely do like them both in their own ways and at their own time. So I'm coming off a really good track season where I improved a lot, and I was lucky to have a lot of support and a lot of luck. But so now I'm thinking, track is great, but if you ask me in a couple weeks or a month, I'm going to think cross country is the best thing in the world, because I think cross country, what's so unique about it is that everyone is doing the exact same thing, and then that just really unites everyone in the team and also within the league. And just any cross country runner you meet, I find that a lot of serious cross country runners, we all think the same way. We all have certain things in common because it's such a special sport, and it really takes a specific kind of person to be able to say, wow, this is fun, this is what I want to do.
Yeah, you got a great point. I mean, everybody doing one event, and you need to do it the best to kind of move on, whether it's for your team and a meet to try to get the win, or at districts, or possibly at states. Katie, when you talk about your teammates this year and pushing each other and making sure everybody's on the same page, there definitely is a nice fraternity with cross country, not only within your own team, but the teams you compete against.
So we did lose some people from graduation last year, but I'm excited to see how the team develops across the board, and also how teams in the area handle how they handle the graduation, the graduating seniors that they lost. So it's going to be interesting, just as it is every year, to see how the teams change and develop throughout the season.
Katie Dammer is a junior at Abington Heights and getting ready for 2016 season. Katie, let's talk about what you're doing when you're not running, whether it's track and field or cross country, or even you do some indoor. So you're quite a busy young lady. How about your school studies, where you do pretty well, or some other things you try to do?
I also am on my school speech and debate team, and I have a lot of fun with that. It's very different from the other competition that I do, which is running. It's a totally different group of kids that I really enjoy being able to be with in school. And my friend and I, we went to the state semifinals this year in speech and debate. So that was a really exciting experience for me to get. And I like doing that in the winter when track's kind of it's not a big part of my life in the winter. I do indoor very relaxed. I don't race a ton. I just kind of use it to stay in shape, get in a little mileage, do some races every once in a while. So I like prioritizing speech and debate during that time of year. I also am in my school orchestra. I play the cello. I just do that for fun. ski. I do other things like that.
Playing the
Enjoy
cello
hanging outside.
Playing the cello for fun is takes some work. It's not an easy instrument to undertake.
Yeah. Well, I'm not very good, but I do it. It is fun, and it's nice to be able to have something that's relaxing when there's some pressure that from running and from schoolwork. Sometimes it's nice to just be doing something because I like it.
Katie, let's talk about that travel time you get with your family, and I'm sure that's special. Some different places that you've gone over time.
Yeah, my family and we do a lot of outdoor, like hiking, vacations, and we really prioritize being outside and prioritizing exercise and sports. And I definitely give my parents all the credit for me being as good of a runner as I am, because they've always prioritized hard work and doing multiple sports. I haven't started only running until my freshman year. Until then, I played lots of other sports as well. So it's just amazing how much support they've given me, especially over these past couple of years with running, but also in all my endeavors with schoolwork. And I know that if I stopped running, they would still be just as proud of me as if I keep going and go on to keep improving and showing signs of being a very promising runner. I know that if I decide that I don't love it, that they'll be just as happy with me.
Katie, how about any quirky things or habits you have maybe before the race, or some meals or something, anything unique about you?
Well, my teammates always bust me that I can kind of eat anything before a race, and it doesn't seem to affect me that much. My one teammate will tell a story of looking over at me on the bus to a cross-country meet, and I was eating a chocolate bar before the race. But I've definitely learned a lot since then, nutrition-wise. So nothing weird with food, but during track season, I started wearing shark socks for all my races, just socks with sharks on them. And then I don't know if I'm going to continue that through cross-country or not. I'll have to follow up on that one.
Yeah, Shark Week's over.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like some fun times that you have with your classmates, and, of course, continued success for you in the classroom and during your cross-country season, Katie. Great to get to know you a little bit better, and we wish you the very best.
Thank you very much.
All right, a well-rounded Katie Dammer from Abington Heights here on the John Mendola Show. We are driven by McCarthy Tire and Automotive Centers.